After so many years of having conversations with individuals and being on your own process of discovering greatness, what have been a few of those really key
Mhm.
understandings in terms of transforming yourself on that path?
Well, I think the enemy of greatness is lacking a meaningful mission. When we are not clear on our meaningful mission, and I like to define it in one sentence, what is this season of life's mission? This doesn't need to be, I know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to go cure cancer and change, millions of lives for the rest of my life. It is a seasonal thing. When I was on my sister's couch, I couldn't think beyond that. For a year and a half, I was living on my sister's couch after an injury from playing football, and I had no money. I couldn't think beyond what I wanted to do besides like my mission is to make enough money to get off this couch and live on my own. That's all I could think. Once we have like more room to think and breathe, or a season or a transition has happened, then we can see what we want for the next season. But getting very clear on defining what my meaningful mission is gives me the ability to act with more focus, intention, and energy. So for me, it's to serve 100 million lives weekly to help them improve the quality of their life. It's clear. It's one sentence. For me, I know where I'm heading. I may never get there, but I know where I'm heading. And that focus allows me to say yes and no to things. It allows me to put my energy and attention towards a mission and not everything and be distracted by everything. The enemy of greatness is lacking a meaningful mission. I'm not talking about, and it's really like not just setting goals and dreams for yourself, but including the service of others in those goals and dreams. That gives it more purpose. And that gives you more energy when there is adversity and challenges. Like you were asking me before we started, I'm in the middle of a 6-8 week book launch, where I'm doing 3-4 interviews a day. I'm recording my audiobook on the weekends. There's no days off right now, and I understand this is the playoffs for me. This is a season of intensity, and we're moving into a home tomorrow, and we've been doing all these other things, and I've been traveling and no sleep, all that. Years ago, I would not have been able to do this when I didn't have a meaningful mission. But because I know this is temporary, because I know it's for something that I'm so inspired by, and it's not about me, it's about service and we, I have more energy. I'm able to sustain on, less sleep on these things for this period. And most people get burnt out, overwhelmed, stressed, anxious because their goals and dreams are about them alone, which is not bad and wrong. I just don't think it's as useful when it's including others in your goals and dreams. Seeing how can I solve problems in the pursuit of this dream, or inspire or lift people up in my art, in my creativity, not just try to do it for my success, but for the service of others. And that shift, it's just a little shift, allows you to have more peace in your heart, allows you to be less stressed and anxious and overwhelmed when challenges arise. Again, it's not like I'm going to be lacking challenge and adversity, but my response to it is more harmonious because I have harmony inside of me and I can see things with that level of clarity and focus. So the enemy of greatness is lacking a meaningful mission. And we talk about in the book on how to get clear on finding that and knowing what season you're in, and not judging yourself or comparing yourself to what someone else is at, but really getting clear on the 3 P's for you, which is your passions, your power, and the problem you want to solve. Your passion is kind of your curiosities, your interests. Your power is your talents, your gifts, but marrying those with the problem you'd like to solve or overcome. Most people don't do the third one. They just like, I'm curious about this, I'm passionate about this, and here's my talent. Let me go make money.
Yeah.
Let me go find like some success. But it's finding that problem you want to solve. So we break down that whole process of how to discover what season you're in, what your meaningful mission is for this season by going through these exercises on that. And I also believe that self-doubt is the killer of dreams. I think it is the thing that holds all of us back from allowing our gifts to come out into the world when we doubt ourselves. And here's the thing. It doesn't matter how gifted and talented you are as a human being. I'm sure you know people, Andre, that are extremely talented, that are probably more talented than you as an editor or filmmaker, that you're like, this guy is a mutant. He's a machine. How does he's an artistic genius.
Yeah.
And there were athletes for me that were way more gifted as athletes. And the world could say, God, you're an incredible genius. You're a gift. You're so talented. The world could put this like gift in you. But if you don't receive it and believe it, your gifts are not going to come out into the world. Your self-doubt will cripple you from acting. It doesn't mean you're bad and wrong, good and right. It just means there's something that's not useful because you doubt yourself. So you don't put your gifts into the world to serve people because you're afraid of one of three core fears, which I'll get to in a second. Self-doubt is the killer of dreams. But here's the other thing. The cool thing about this, it doesn't matter if the world is against you or no one else believes in you. If you learn the skill of believing yourself, you can go do incredible things. You can put your work, your art, your books, your message into the world because you learn to believe and not put your definition of other people believing in you in order to do something. But there's a lot of talented people that don't act, that don't create, that don't produce, that don't put their stuff out there because they don't learn how to overcome that doubt in themselves. So half of the game is believing and overcoming self-doubt. And the three causes of self-doubt is the fear of failure, the fear of success, and the fear of judgment. The fear of failure, was never my fear because in sports, I was trained. Did you ever play sports growing up?
Yeah.
In sports, it was just part of the process to getting to be successful, to winning. Like you're going to fail, you're going to make mistakes. That's how you learn to improve your game. And you learned early on, okay, Michael Jordan missed 50% of his shots. The greatest baseball players of all time fail 70% of the time. So we're like, okay, you don't have to succeed every play. You just have to win the game. And you're going to fail your way to success. So failure wasn't the thing that I was afraid of that held me back from acting courageously. Where failure is usually a big thing. The fear of failure holds people back from putting their thing out there, from risking themselves on the sports field, from creating their music, their art. Success was never something that I was afraid of also because it's something I wanted. Now, I wanted it based on a wound, to feel loved, to feel seen, to feel powerful, accepted, all those things. So I was driven to it. I wasn't afraid of it, but the wound caused me to feel like it's still not enough when I accomplished success. And I almost got angry and resentful when I would accomplish. So I could organize my thoughts. I could work hard. I was disciplined. I was gritty. I could overcome pain. I could create goals and structure my day and train to get the results I wanted in sports and business. But every time I accomplished goals, I was never happy. I was never satisfied. And so that hurt me. But it didn't cause me to not act to go get what I wanted. The fear of judgment is the third one that causes us to doubt ourselves. The opinions of other people. This was the thing that crippled me the most for most of my life. And I was so worried about what other people thought. So therefore, I would abandon myself in almost every situation to people please, to give in, to change who I was to make someone happy. And I was constantly shifting my energy to make sure that everyone else was happy and liked me. And it caused me deep suffering and deep sadness because I was always in a constant abandonment phase to try to make one person like me or love me. And it's exhausting. It's draining. It's energy sucking. And at the center, so if you have these three things, these three fears, and put them in a Venn diagram, at the center is the idea that I am not enough. It's something that we've all had to face and struggle with at different times, at different seasons. Fear of failure, success, and judgment. The core, the root is I am not enough. I'm not smart enough, pretty enough, talented enough, good enough, worthy enough. And that causes us to doubt ourselves and causes us not to act courageously in our lives. Relationships, career, sports, art, business, whatever it might be, because we believe we're not enough. And so this whole book, for me, is teaching you how to overcome that belief by owning your past, accepting your past, healing the past, so that you can be to a place now in your present where you believe you are enough. Now, you can't fake it. You can't put a false sense of confidence and say, I am enough. There are a number of different strategies to get you to there, to accepting and owning it. And it's also not about being complacent and saying, I'm enough and I'm going to be lazy for the rest of my life, because that's not a fulfilling life either. It's about how am I enough now, and I'm also becoming greater. I'm also becoming more. I'm actively improving. And I think that's the process. And that's the thing that holds a lot of people back.